Hey, you guys. So I recently came across a viral video claiming that 40% of the world is financially illiterate. And apparently, this lack of financial literacy costs the average adult approximately, are you ready for this? $10,000 in 2022. Yeah, not good. And I don't want this to be the case for you or for anyone. So today I'm sharing 6 ways to become financially smarter than 40% of the population. And if you can commit to doing even just a few of these 6 things the next coming year, you'll be way ahead of the curve and well on your way to winning with money. So the first way to become financially literate is to implement a zero-based budget. You guys, we talk about budgeting a lot on here, but you have to understand that budgeting is the foundation when it comes to winning with money. So a zero-based budget just means your income for the month minus all of your expenses, including giving and saving, should equal 0. So every dollar coming in is assigned to a category. And we talk about this being so specific to your income and to your life because your expenses is your life. It's what you spend money on. And you want every single dollar of your income to be going to something, to have a specific job when it comes to your spending, because you want to spend on purpose. And what happens is you go through the month, you get paid, and you look up and you wait on the next paycheck to get paid and go through the month. And you just keep living in that cycle. And you look up a year, 2 years, 10 years down the road thinking, where did all my income go? What did I spend it on? But when you're budgeting, you know what to do. And if you've not downloaded Every Dollar Our Budgeting app, make sure to do that because it's going to help you walk through budgeting on a really easy basis, and it's amazing. Okay, my second tip for becoming financially smart is to consume financial news regularly and critically. So listen, I don't want you in the news cycle 24/7 because I just don't feel like that's good really for anyone. But I do want you to be aware of hey, kind of what's going on in the market overall. What's going on with inflation? How about the housing market? Just to get an overall picture of what the world is doing financially. Because not only is this going to help you possibly make decisions later on in life if you have big decisions coming up, but even in conversation with people when they're freaking out about something, you have knowledge to be like, okay, yeah, I saw the market was a little bit down last year, but I also knew it was a better year then and here. And you can start to pinpoint knowledge and facts when it comes to money. So again, I don't want scare tactics to go on because, again, depending on the news source that you're reading or watching, fear is a big part of what keeps the news going. And when they talk about the government or the economy, that can really get you in a spiral. So stay focused, be aware, but just bring in some of your own personal experience and context to all the headlines. Know that the sky isn't falling, but also have some knowledge to put around you on what's going on in the world. All right, the third way to become financially literate is to become wise with your investment decisions. So just like we talked about, there's changes in the economy constantly. But if you stick to a proven investment strategy plan, then you can look back and say, okay, historically, here is what has happened. And I can know going forward, I can depend on that history. I think that's really big because people's investment strategies sometimes can change depending on what is cool right now. What's the new hip thing? What's the thing that's gonna make everybody rich? And people just go all in on this stuff that doesn't have a long-term track record. They go in with not a lot of knowledge because it may be a new thing. So listen, to have peace of mind, know what your investments are, understand, okay, what a mutual fund is. That's what we teach at Ramsey, to not go into single stocks, but to get a mutual fund that has 90 to 200 stocks in a mutual fund. Diversify. Your money is spread around when it comes to that stuff. And you're able to look back on the history of the market and say, okay, what has happened from the beginning of the market to now? And you can, again, have that data to help you. So when it comes to investing, it can be really complicated. So I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can connect with a SmartVestor Pro and get started right away when it comes to investing. Okay, before I share the rest of my tips, I want to tell you about one of my new favorite board games, Apple. Guys, board games, it is such a fun thing to do with your friends and your family. We played some games over Thanksgiving, and just the amount of joy and laughter that comes with games, everyone needs it. And if you need a game to play, Tapple is it. It is easy to learn. It's kind of urgent. So there's you have to be thinking on your feet, and there's a timer, and so there's a lot of intensity, and that's what makes games fun. It's competitive. I'm telling you, your kids will love it. The parents will love it. The grandparents will love it. So make sure to grab Tapple at Walmart. All right, my fourth tip for becoming financially smart is to consume content from experts you trust. And the good news is that you are watching or listening to this episode of my show, so you're kind of doing that, right? So it is digging in and understanding, okay, what are people saying about this topic? So whether it's in books or podcasts or YouTube channels, make sure that you have people that you trust when it comes to money and listening to them, listening to their tips, their experiences. I think it's really big. So yes, we can consume the news and what is going on in the world out there, but also being able to have practical people in your life that you may not know and you're like BFFs with, right? But people that live and breathe this content all the time, they're able to deliver to you ways to think about your money. I think it's really important. So I personally love Jade Warshaw, George Kamel, Dave Ramsey. So there's a lot of money experts out there. But if you are really new to all of this, I would recommend grabbing the Total Money Makeover book because it's a great place to start. All right, my fifth tip is to research where you put your savings to make sure you're getting the most of your money. So whether you're saving for an emergency fund or a down payment on a house, it's important to know which kinds of savings accounts can passively earn you extra money with interest without the risk of losing money. So we always talk about things like high yield savings accounts or money market accounts to put money in that is for short-term savings, so 5 years or less. So again, your emergency fund, this is a great place for it. Again, down payment for a house, if you're saving up for a big vacation even, that's in like 2 years. So any amount of money that you have, it's a good size. I would recommend looking into, again, a money market account or a high yield savings account. So these will give you better interest rates and you'll be able to earn a little bit more on your money, even though they're not investments, than just sitting in a checking account or a traditional savings account. So just understanding your options when it comes to savings is really big. Even some Vanguard accounts are great. You can look into index funds. Again, you could be the one in charge of that, putting some money in. That's now more investing, putting it into the market and looking at index funds, but another great place to check out as well. And finally, the sixth way to become financially smarter than most people is to know your personal money tendencies. So no matter where you stand financially, everyone has unique habits when it comes to spending money and saving money. So knowing your natural bend is really a first step in understanding how to take control of your money and why you do the things that you do with money. Because if you're going along and you're forcing yourself to try to be someone you're not in this process, it can be really daunting and exhausting. I am a spender at heart, but I have had to learn to save. So yes, you will understand, okay, I have to learn maybe different ways to handle money. There will be things that are uncomfortable, but overall, I can celebrate the fact that I'm a spender by having a budget and knowing I can spend money freely. Permission to spend, that is a budget. So again, understanding how you're wired is really key. And if you're married, this is a really important conversation to have with your spouse so that you two together can be in it and say, hey, you bring things to the table, you bring different things to the table. Let's, again, together understand how this works. All right, you guys, I have some great news for you. If you are watching this video, you're already doing tip number 4. And I'd be willing to bet that you're doing some of the others on the list too. But there's always room for growth. So let me know in the comments which tip you're gonna try out next and keep me posted on your progress. And to help you on your journey to financial literacy, again, make sure to check out Every Dollar. I mentioned it earlier, but it is a great budgeting app to kind of be that foundation point for you when it comes to your money. So send this video to a friend who is ready to be smarter with their money just in time for the new year. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.